Hey, good morning, YouTube. Welcome to my messy garage. And it's bad too. I have just been so busy with that building. I'm sorry about last week. I know a lot of you boat people were like, what the heck? It's another building video. Yeah, so I'm going to try to knock out a boat video for you today. And it's probably Saturday and they're not working today. It is rainy, so it's muddy getting out there. The boat is out in the field because it can't be over here in the way of the concrete getting put down. Yeah, I'm gonna go out there and measure. I think we'll try to get the fiberglass on that front wall maybe, or at least measure it out and get it cut out, and then get some thickened resin around that pipe and kind of set it in place. And then I need to do the resin on that, the fiberglass on that stringer. I think I have a couple more coats left to do on there. So I think that's a pretty good goal today. So yeah, stick with me. Welcome to my life. All right, so we're out in the middle of the field where the boat is. Yeah, the tornado just beat the crap out of it. It is hanging on though. I had to re-get the tarp on there again, but the tarp just destroyed the PVC inside. So that's, I don't even have a thing here anymore. It just goes straight down. So I'm probably sure it's going to be full of water and whatever else. So this is the first time I've been in here since the storm. Oh, it's pretty dry actually. It's water in the back, but yeah, the boat's not even sitting right correctly or anything like that. Yeah, the tornado just beat this PVC to a pulp, so there's definitely no PVC left. I could rebuild it, but I'm so close, I think, to getting the boat in the garage. I'm gonna probably just leave it alone. Well, I may just put something across the back so this isn't dripping in the boat, but other than that, yeah, I'll probably just try to figure out a bar across the back or something. I guess we can do that real quick. I'm sorry about the lighting. We are in the middle of a field, so there is no light. That's weird. The box up there is open. Huh. We must have got quite a bit of wind and stuff in here, let me tell you. Yeah, the windows are fogged up too. So there's a lot of moisture in here. So I think we'll just get something across the back here. Oops, that camera didn't like that, did it? I don't even know really. That little piece there, if I can find it. But I had this one put together, but obviously it didn't hold. Some of it's glued together anyway. It's a mess though. PVC mess. So that was there. I'm not going to rebuild this, so I'm not worried about that. I would like to find the small piece that goes in the corner, which goes there. Then I can just make a bridge to go across, I think, just to hold the back up. But it definitely didn't make it through the storm. Goes there. So if we can just get something to go across, I think we'll be good to go. Keep the water out here for now. Let's see. I have this. Let's see if I had a straight piece onto it. It might fit across. Not that that's glued on there. There it is. That won't work. That won't work. I need something like this. There we go. See if this is long enough to get across there. Just hold this up. Oh, it needs to be a lot longer, huh? Alright, what can we do here? What can we do here? Let's see. It's all a mess. If that didn't have that on there, I could use that. I could cut it off though, I guess. That's glued. Yeah, see, I glued it all a long way. This will probably be way too long if I do this. We'll see what this does. I can take the end of that off. Damn close right there. Yeah, good. I didn't glue that on there, so that'll work. I can just turn this way. and then shove it in the hole. And that gives us this anyway. Let's see if we can find something long enough to hit the floor. That can go there. Let's see, is that too long? Yeah, that's too long. See if I can turn this piece. I don't know if I can or not. Looks like I can. Got on a wrench down here. There. That'll hold the back anyway. We'll keep the water back there. Which is basically all I'm trying to do right now. All right, so I think that'll be a good temporary solution for now. Just holds the back up. Yeah, if we got a ton of rain, it's definitely going to buckle in there. I'll probably try to get some bungees on that, pulling it that way. Just so it doesn't go there. It looks like we lost the antenna, so I'll be getting a new antenna evidently. It looks like it's cracked in half. I mean, the wind was just ferocious. Again, it was tornado-like winds. The tornado was on the hill, so down here it was just tough. I mean, it was rough on the boat. Obviously, the PVC was everywhere. Again, I'm not going to try to put that back together. I mean, we're just about ready to put it in the garage. I mean, you guys can't see it. The only factor I'm waiting on is the concrete. I want it to cure really good. This boat is heavy, and I want to get 1 month's cure on that concrete. And we're nowhere near, by the way. So we're not even a week yet away from putting that stuff down. So it'll be a while, but it's not that long that I need to worry about trying to rebuild this top and getting it back on there. It served its purpose, and it did well. It got us through, and here we are, right? So anyway, so yeah, RIP PVC thing. You know, if I wanted it to, I kind of made it to take apart so that I could take it apart and put it back there. So the long pieces were glued, and then the side pieces were not. And obviously, it just couldn't take that whipping, beating. I mean, like, the pieces are cracked. I mean, so it took quite a bit before it gave way, but you know, just couldn't handle it. So, all right. So I need to get a tray and some buckets and whatever. I think I have them in there. Actually, it's in there. And then I need to measure this out down here. See if I get the flashlight going. Because I'll need to put that pipe in there permanent and do thickened resin around the bottom, and then do a couple coats of fiberglass over top of the wall there. I'll probably do full sheet across and then just leave a slit down and go around the bottom of that pipe for the first sheet. Second sheet, I'll try to get something across the bottom long ways, and then probably just 2 pieces go across the top long ways or something. And then, of course, I'd like to get a coat of fiberglass on this wall as well, and get that rolling. But I don't want to go too crazy and try to get too much going, because it ends up making a mess, right? We want to keep this as clean and smooth as possible, keeping it going on there correctly, right? So, yeah. So let me get in there and get measurements. I'm going to measure out that wall. I'm going to try to do it in one piece. And then, you know, I've really been having a hard time with stuff sticking on there very good lately. Just until it gets, I mean, it really has to start getting on there before it sticks. I probably need to clean this out, though. There's a bunch of junk in here now. There's a socket in here, too. I didn't even know I was missing a socket. That sucks. I got to get that thing cleaned up. Okay. Well, I don't like that. I don't like not putting my tools away. I would have thought I would have found it during my check, but anyway, I'll need to get this wiped out. I'll need to get measurements, and then we'll get busy. Oh, man. Let the flat bolt to the sides. So really 4 feet. That'll give us a couple inches on each side. That's 40. That's 3'7". So that'll give us 3 inches on each side if we went 4 feet. I think we go a little bit bigger than that. All right, so I got the big piece cut out. I had pre-cut the sides, so I'm going to use that up. It won't flap over and tab out very well, but it'll cover the wood on that front part, and then we'll tap it later on from there. And then I got some scraps that we'll fill in the rest with. The big piece though, we'll cut in there so we can line it up with that pipe. Probably have to resin first and then put that, well, we'll fit this piece, we'll resin, thicken resin, and then we'll put this piece on. And we'll see how it comes out. So I think I got everything. I got the resin, I got the fiberglass, rollers in there, buckets are in there, stuff to make thickened resins in there, respirators in there. So we should be good to go. Let's go out there and get to work. Oh, and just so you know, I didn't forget, I put the socket back where it goes. That was actually a T25, but it's back where it goes. All is well. Oh, and it's dirty and I need to dust it, but everything's back in there. All right, so we just made it in time for the rain. I got in the boat. Whew, I had to run, but it started sprinkling, and then all of a sudden after I got in the boat, I don't know if you can hear it now, but it started raining. So we're good. Fiberglass is dry. We're in good shape. Hey, I just wanted to say thank you to all the people that reached out. We did get affected, but we didn't get affected by the tornado, but it did come in behind the house. Something about that hill behind us, it kind of, I guess the up currents or whatever, but the tornado came to the edge, took out a barn across the street, took out the roof of a barn across the street, took off some house shingles, took off the corner of a house, and I think there's a piece of the barn right above us. I think part of the roof is missing. I just noticed that the other day. We did find 2x4s in our yard that had just been dropped from the sky, but the tornado came and hit that ridge and then followed that ridge down and then merged left across the field, and you can clearly see the path. The news is kind of weird about it. It's like they say, well, it might or might not be a tornado. It could have been shear winds. Whatever it is, it has a clear path. It came across the airport, and if you look it up, you can look up Boyle County Airport. You'll see the devastation there. And it just came straight across those fields, took out like several hundred-year-old barns and roofs and people's house roofs and whatever, and then cut down the road on top of the ridge. And you can clearly see trees on both sides snapped. And that'll be in that video that you'll see on the building video, which will be later on. And then it cut across the field. So really fortunate that it didn't come down here. But thank you for all the people that reached out and checked to see if we are okay. We're just fine. I feel sorry for the people up on the hill. They were devastated. The airport was definitely devastated. If you look that up, I think like 11 planes were crushed and several buildings. There's sheet metal everywhere up there. Planes are all toppled all over the place. Prayers for Maysville. Maysville, which is about 4 hours from here. It's at the point of Kentucky. And I'm in the central. But they were just, I mean, that whole town is gone. Really sad deal. And then the Amazon storage center, service center, or whatever, distribution center in Illinois, I guess. It was destroyed as well, and there were people trapped inside there. From what I've heard, close to 100 people dead, if not more. Really sad deal. Really sad deal. But we are unscathed. Thank you for checking in on me. All right, so I got her all cleaned out of here. I cleaned all the junk to the back of the boat so that I wasn't dragging it up in here too. So we'll do a little fitting on this fiberglass first, and then we'll switch to thickened resin. We'll thicken resin in around the pipe, and then we'll go back to putting the fiberglass up and rolling it in. There's a couple places that looks like that I need to fix from the old job, so I'll have to do a little cutting in here, which sucks because that's what makes such a mess. But there's 2 bubbles that I'll need to cut out on that old piece that we did. And I'll probably try to sand that down a little bit before I put anything on top of it, just because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So I think it looks like that piece actually looks really good. So I must have put that on afterwards, but I'm still going to come back, sand that down a little bit, and then I'll get back at this. But let me get this fiberglass fitted, and then we'll work on that, and then we'll do thickened resin, and then we'll put this fiberglass up. All right. Unfolding this and then getting this cut is going to be a pain. So I probably should kind of measure it and try to get it. So it goes up to about 11 inches total. So I'll have to cut a slit at 11 inches once I figure out where I want that to be, because I got wraparound on both sides. So it should basically sit flat up in there and then come down and flit on the walls. But I don't know where that center is. I made it really long. Yeah, so I made it real long. Yeah. I don't want to tear this fiberglass up in here. I just got to pick a center, I guess, really. I should have just gone ahead, cut it in the center in there, but it's going to be a pain. This is not going to be fun trying to do it in this size. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this in this size or not. We'll see. Somewhere right there. Yep. And then we'll just have to kind of cut around that after we get in there. That's going to be centered, so it's not going to be exactly where it needs to be. Problem is I'm going to have so many different folds going on here. It's going to be interesting for sure. So I'm wondering if I shouldn't get the head thickened resin on there, gel this up, or resin this up, and then try to stick it, and then form it from the top to the bottom. We know that it's been having trouble sticking at the top. That's my only thing. I may have to do this in more than one sheet. I didn't want to. I may have to do the top piece and then flip on a bottom piece. And do it in sections. Not what I wanted to do, but I think that's where I'm at. Yep. Okay, well, I think that's the plan I'm going with now, so I'll take this where I can get to it without bending down. I'll cut this straight across. I'll thicken resin, and we'll get that up there. Well, thicken resin. Yep. I will get rid of those bubbles, and I'll thicken resin, and I'll get the top piece on there, and I'll just take these two bottom pieces and fit them better underneath. It'll be easier to do, and then go from there. And then the third piece will just fit in there. So we'll make sure the brakes aren't in the same place. All right, well, that's not what I was thinking, but when I look at the size of this in here, I think that's the better choice. So let's do that. One of the problems with this fiberglass is the more you move it around, the more it's loopy. So I need to take it back in there, put it on the garage floor, cut it, flatten it back out, and then roll it nice and neat, so that I don't have problems on those corners like the ones that are in there. So you can see what I'm talking about. See how wavy it gets when you start screwing with it? And then you gotta beat that back out of there. And if you don't have a flat surface to do it, when you get those in there, that's where you get those corner bubbles from that I couldn't get rid of once they're in there. But if you work them while you're on a flat floor, everything kind of folds back out. So I gotta get these, see, like this. I mean, look how bad that is. I mean, it's just got wrinkled on there. So you just gotta work her out on a flat surface. And then most of the time, looks like this is gonna be rough though right here, but most of the time man, that's rough. Most of the time they work their way out. All right, those are ready to go, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and go in the boat, fix those two pieces, sand them down, and then I'll come back and get this. That way it's not getting dusty. All right, so that worked out really well. I think I made way too much thickened resin, but you never know. So I probably should have done one and then done another, but I ended up using it. Yeah, it looks really well. Sorry about the camera work. I was doing the one up top, and I had it aimed up there, and I forgot to aim it back down here. But I got plenty of resin, thickened resin around that, all smashed in there. It's still loose. And then, of course, I made way too much, so I'm going to have to do the bottom to smooth that out, kind of. But I'll put the top on there, and then I'll come down, and I may do fiberglass strips around that bottom piece, just to, you know, really tighten it up in there. Not that it needs to be any tighter, it's just, I don't know, kind of cool. So yeah, so I'll get the thickened resin, or I'll make resin up, and then we'll do the top piece, and then we'll come down and try to do these bottom pieces and get those in. All right, so we're in basically straight on panic mode. Nothing's working out. I think I had to cut the sheet in half. I'm going to try to get the other side in there, but it's being a pain in the butt. The thickened resin is pushed through into the hull of the boat. So I'm going to try to get that other piece on there, and try to resin that up. And I'll go inside into that cavity well in there, and then try to push that back, thickened resin back in there, and try to hold it till it'll be drier by then, and go from there. And what a pain. And then this camera stand, I can't switch it, but the clip broke off. So I'm trying to use the other camera on the other side, which can only go straight because it doesn't have any bend to it like these do. So it's just a mess. It's a mess. So let me get on there and see if I can't get that other side on. And then we'll go from there. Whew, ridiculous.
Black balloon, don't be sad. One day you'll learn to fly. Through the wind, through the storm. One day you'll fly along. Oh, 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 oh. There'll always be someone trying to hold you down. Just forget about it now. Follow your passion, follow your dreams, even if it flows upstream. It takes a strong soul to live in this world. It takes a strong soul to go deeper. It takes a strong love to go through this madness. It takes a strong love to go.
All right, she's coming along. Whew, I'm dying. I just got out and made another batch of resin. Catch my breath out here. And then we'll go in and get some more resin on there. It's starting to come out. Boy, what a pain in the butt. And we still got to put the bottom strips on there. So we're getting there. Let my hands dry a little bit so I can put gloves on, new gloves on. But we're getting there. It's just taking a bit. Patience is a virtue, right? So we got the first coats on it. I need to get another coat on it. It's still pretty white. I need to get it see-through, right? So let me get in there and get wiping some more on there. Hopefully it comes out because, man, it looks awful white compared to what I did over here. So we'll just keep soaking it down and see what I can do. Let me get back in there.
Through all of it, through all of it. Black balloon, don't you cry. One day you'll learn to fly. Through the wind, through the storm. One day.
All right, so I got the big blob of mess there. I'll just let it sit there and dry and everything cleaned up. Got my tools in the back. Oh. Got all the cameras out. Ah. All right, YouTube, I've got her all cleaned up. I got the tools there in the back. I've cleaned the rollers and all the stuff. And put that big glob of fiberglass in there. We'll just let it dry and then I'll pick it up and throw it away after that. Really disheartening. I don't even know really what's going on here. It was going to turn out white. I mean, it was turning out white. And I put tons of resin on it. I was on my third coat of resin, right? What caused that? I don't know. You know, it's going to turn out like the right-hand side stringer. And I attributed the right-hand stringer to turn white because of the final resin. You know, the wax coating on the top. But this one did it all the way across. If it had just done it on the right side where it connected to that right side stringer, I would have been fine with it. I would have thought, well, it's having the same problem that's happened before. But it did it all the way across, and I don't really understand what's causing that. you know, the fiberglass had fallen and I ended up cutting it in half and then putting it back up there, and so that could have been part of the issue. But I did that on the left-hand stringer once, and I still ended up getting it up, and it still ended up turning out fine. So I put a ton of resin on it, trying to get it to get rid of the air and get it through there. I rolled it, I used the little air remover thing, and nothing was working at all. Maybe too much time in between putting it up and then getting the resin on it or something. I really don't know. Maybe humidity, because it has rained while I was in there. But to let it go after I know that I can do better. The whole point of this journey is to do better each time, and that wasn't going to be better. So I think it was just better that I ripped it out, and we'll start again on a different day. I'd get back in there now. I mean, I want to be honest with you, but the fumes are just overwhelming in there. There's not enough ventilation, and I spent enough time in there already, so I don't want to get back in there. I thought it was gonna be an easy day. I thought I'd knock that out and get down that stringer, but evidently that's not in the cards for today. I really am sorry to kind of let you down. I mean, I ended up ripping it all out, and I know it's kind of going to be a waste of your time to watch this, but at the same time, I think it's important to show because it's part of the process, right? I mean, nothing I can do about it except for try to learn from it and do better next time. When that will be, I don't know. I mean, I've been so focused on the building and trying to get that done. I think we will be in better shape though when I do get this inside and I can get the boat opened up and have electricity in there and get the fans rolling and not breathe all that, and it'll be in a controlled environment. But until we get there, it is what it is. I will try again to get in there and get those on there, but I just couldn't let it go. I can't let it be like that anymore. Now that I've learned more, right? So that's where we're at. Again, sorry to let you down. Hopefully you'll continue to watch me. I did survive a tornado, so things aren't all that bad. And I have a great building being built, which you'll see if hopefully you're watching those episodes too. Because we should start framing here in the episode week after next. Should start showing framing going, the building getting framed in. So please check that out. All right, well, that's going to be it for this week. So sorry for letting you guys down, but it's part of the process. It is what it is. I couldn't let it go. It's just better to try again. I mean, I really was debating whether to leave it there or not, but it just wouldn't be right. So anyway, on that note, I hope you have a better week than I've had, and I will see you next week.